Hello. Hi. Welcome to today's audio log. It is 9:41 p.m. on the 15th of October 2023. And if it wasn't obvious, I am back home. I am recording this at my computer. And I have, I have a lot to talk about. The entire trip to York, the open day, everything. A lot has happened this weekend. So yeah, I guess I'll just get started. But before I do, I think I should probably mention that I'm not going to go into like all the details of everything, because otherwise I'll be sat here for half an hour, and I don't think anyone wants to listen to that. So I'll just try to boil it down to the most important parts. But basically, okay, so I went up to York. I went to the open day for the university, and long story short, I think I'm pretty much sold on the idea of going. I think I will enroll for next year, and yeah, that's very exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and it feels nice to have a plan for the future, because for the longest time I have not had one. So yeah, that's kind of the short answer is yes, I want to go. The long answer with a little bit more detail. So as I've already mentioned before, we went into this with a plan already made. So we had an idea of what we were going to do during the day, and we ended up doing most of it. There were a few things that we didn't bother with in the end because we felt like we didn't need to, and there were a couple of things that we just didn't have time for. But overall, we got most of it done, and so I have a lot of information now. A lot of my questions were answered, a lot of concerns. Although, to be honest, I didn't really have that many concerns going into this. I just really had questions. So yeah, pretty happy with the whole thing. So to put it brief, or to keep it brief, the university itself seems to have quite a high priority on support. So their support system for their students is very good, which was nice to hear. And they really put an emphasis on that. They made sure that throughout the entire open day that we knew that we would be supported as best as possible. So yeah, like I said, that was nice to hear, and that's it's good. I attended numerous talks, and there were also drop-ins, as they called it, where certain people from certain parts of the university would be waiting in a room all day for you to drop in and ask them questions and talk to them whenever you'd like. So I also attended a couple of drop-ins, just to kind of answer any questions that I had about certain things. and yeah, just generally pretty happy with the whole thing. The campus is really nice. It's small, so it's not difficult to navigate. Um, the staff seem really friendly. Didn't see many real students, probably because the open day was going on and they were elsewhere. But yeah, just the whole place seems really nice. It seems like a nice place to be. Um, so yeah, we were able to explore um, some of the campus. We didn't do a campus tour. That is something that we did not have time for. But towards the end, we kind of felt like it wasn't necessary anyway, since we had done so much walking around at that point. Anyway, so we decided to skip that. But there is going to be another open day in the spring next year. So I think we're planning to go again, and maybe just attend the two different tours, and maybe ask some questions that I might have thought of in the time between now and then, and then just probably just go home after that. So yeah, there'll be another opportunity to have a look around and stuff, if that's something that I want. But I was pretty happy with everything that I saw anyway, and like I said at the start of this, I'm pretty much sold on the idea of going. So now it's just a waiting game, I suppose. But yeah, so I guess I'll go into the specific course that I am interested in, which is obviously Korean language. There are actually two different Korean language courses. One of them focuses more on teaching English to non-English speaking people. So if I were to take that course, I would be teaching English to probably Korean people. I would imagine, um, but that's not something that I want to do. I'm interested in the other one, which focuses more on linguistics and communication. Um, but yeah, so both courses, they've got a similar structure to them. Obviously, they differ slightly in the 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 focused study, because they are about two different things. But generally, uh, the layout of the course seems good. Um, both courses offer the well, it's not really an offer. It's actually, I learned that the year in Korea, where you go there and you spend a year living there, and you learn Korean from the Korean universities over there. Um, I learned that that is actually mandatory, and so you have to do it. Which, I mean, that's fine by me. I wanted to go anyway. Um, but yeah, so it's actually a mandatory thing, and the way they designate uh, like where you or what you learn, it depends on your level of Korean at that time. So if you're, say, a beginner in Korean, you will go over there and you will be learning at a beginner level. But if you're like advanced, you would go over there and you'd learn at an advanced level. So they cater to your specific level of Korean, which I thought was a nice gesture. It means that you don't get thrown into the deep end if you're not ready for it. So yeah, so the year in Korea is the third year of the course. It's a 4-year course. Um, So yeah, I also learned about a summer school type thing that you can attend. I think you can do that after your first year, and you spend 4 weeks in South Korea, and you do some uh, you know some things over there. You learn Korean, you hang out with with people. I'm not entirely sure what the specifics are, but that sounded like something that I would be interested in as well. And so I think I'll probably try to do that too if I can. Um, and that also fulfills uh, the the need or the want. I guess I should say the desire to uh, travel to Korea and go on holiday. That kind of fulfills the same thing. It's 4 weeks, which is long. Is a longer holiday than I was ever planning for. Um, but yeah, that sounds like something I'd be interested in. So I have potentially two chances to spend time in Korea during this course, which is exciting. Um, and well, speaking of the course, the talk that I attended was actually given by the professor for the course, which makes sense. Um, and she is Korean herself, so it'll be good to learn from a Korean person. Because when I was looking at the course on their website, I watched a short intro video. But the person talking in that video, um, they must be a different member of the languages, uh, like professors. So she must just be like a general, person as opposed to like a specialist. But it was nice to know that the Korean course will be taught by a Korean. And she seems really friendly. She was, making sure that the people who were there, felt like they were. I'm not sure how to explain this. It's you know how sometimes, well, I don't know. I don't know if you know this, but in a larger class, say there's 80 people in there, and it's one professor at the front just talking to a whole room of people. It's not very personal, you can't, you don't feel like you can connect to the professor and get that one-on-one time with them that you may need. But with the Korean course, it feels like the opposite of that. It's a small class. It's about 25 people for the class, which is about the size that I was hoping for. So it feels like you could definitely get that one-on-one time with the professor if you need it, which is also another a nice, I guess a positive. So yeah, there's obviously a lot more happened, but I'm not going to talk about everything in detail. General thoughts are I'm happy with this choice, and I am hoping to be there next year. Also, the city of York is a wonderful place. I was able to explore it a little bit during the weekend. I got to see some things. Went into York Minster, which, if you don't know, is one of the most famous. I think it's a cathedral. I think so. Yeah, it's a fantastic building. The architecture is incredible. Um, so yeah, I got to go through the town a little bit and explore around and stuff, which was nice. And hopefully, if I do go again in the spring next year, I'll be able to do more of that. But yeah, I think I'll call it here. I might continue to talk about this for the rest of next week, or at least as long as I feel like I need to, because there's a lot of stuff that happened. But I am quite tired. It's been a long weekend. I need some sleep, so I'm going to call it here, and I'll be back tomorrow for the next one. So thanks for listening, and until tomorrow, I'll see you then. I've forgotten how to do the outro to this thing. Whatever. Good night.